Welcome to Just Asia, AHRC TV's weekly human rights program. These are the headlines. Thai police summon at least 60 activists for demanding elections. Philippines president tells UN expert to go to hell. Indian farmers go on 10-day strike. Burma signs UN agreement to repatriate Rohingya refugees. Indonesian president invites victims of past abuses to palace. Urgent appeals from the Philippines. Welcome to AHRC TV's Just Asia. I'm Alexandra. This week, Just Asia begins with Thailand, where police issued summons to at least another 47 individuals on May 29th, to be charged for exercising their freedom of peaceful assembly to call for elections and democracy. 15 others were charged by police earlier, on 22nd and 23rd May 2018. In total, some 62 people are facing legal actions for participating at an assembly held at Thammasat University and the UN ESCAP building in Bangkok on May 21st to 22nd. The participants include a staff of the Thai Lawyers for Human Rights group, Ms. Niranuch Nimsap, who was on duty to observe and monitor the assembly. According to the police summons, the 47 individuals will have to report themselves to police on Thursday, June 7th, for notification of violating a ban on political gathering of more than 5 persons and other charges. The details of accusations and all charges against them will be fully informed on that day. The Thai Lawyers for Human Rights is calling on all concerned groups and individuals to monitor this case, particularly all the legal proceeding against the charged democracy activists. They are also calling for pressure to be put on the Thai government to hold free and fair election this year as promised. Next, Philippines President Rodrigo Duterte has told a UN human rights expert who said the country's judicial independence was under threat to go to hell, warning against interference in domestic affairs. After the Philippines Supreme Court voted last month to remove Chief Justice Maria Lourdes Sereno, whom Duterte called an enemy for voting against controversial government proposal, Diego Garcia-Sayan, Special UN Rapporteur on the Independence of Judges and Lawyers, said last week. Her dismissal is sending a chilling message to other Supreme Court judges and members of the judiciary. Tell him not to interfere with the affairs of my country. He can go to hell, Duterte told a news conference late Saturday night, prior to leaving for an official visit to South Korea. The outspoken Philippines leader is known for defying international pressure and his diatribes against critics. Sereno, the first Chief Justice to be removed by her peers, had voted against several of Duterte's proposals, including the extension of martial rule in the volatile southern Philippines. Indian farmers went on a 10-day strike beginning June 1st, facing an ever-aggravating agrarian crisis. The crisis has already claimed the lives of more than 300,000 farmers, over decades of suicides, and has crippled the rural economy, making survival in the Indian countryside difficult. Named Gondang, or Village Shutdown, the strike led by an umbrella organization of over 130 farmer groups is demanding better minimum support prices for their produce, farm loan waivers, higher compensation for damaged crops, and full implementation of the MS Swaminathan report. The farmers participating in the strike have refused to sell anything to cities in these 10 days, and this has led to severe shortage of even basic amenities like milk and vegetables, and consequently sent their prices skyrocketing. The strike coincides with the anniversary of the Madhya Pradesh police firing on farmers' protests in Mandsaur on 8th of June 2017, killing 8 farmers and injuring many. To avoid such violence again, the authorities would do well to engage with the farmers and address their grievances. Moving to Burma, the country's national security advisor Thangtan said Burma is willing to take back all 700,000 Rohingya refugees who have fled to Bangladesh if they volunteer to return. Speaking at the Shangri-La Dialogue, a regional security conference in Singapore, Thangtan said, "If you can send back 700,000 on a voluntary basis, we are willing to receive them. Can this be called ethnic cleansing?" Since August 2017, about 700,000 Rohingya Muslims have fled a military crackdown in Burma's Rakhine state, with reports of killing, rape, and arsons on a large scale. The United Nations and aid agencies have described the crackdown as a textbook example of ethnic cleansing, an accusation Burma rejects. There is no war going on, so it's not war crimes. Crimes against humanity, that could be a consideration, but we need clear evidence. These serious charges should be proved and they should not be bandied about lightly, Thangtan noted on Saturday. Burma signed an agreement with the United Nations on Thursday aimed at eventually allowing the Rohingya sheltering in Bangladesh to return safely and by choice. It also said it would set up an independent commission to investigate the violation of human rights and related issues in Rakhine State following the army operation there. He said that while the military had the right to defend the country, if investigations showed they had acted illegally, action would be taken. Next, Indonesian President Joko Widodo invited victims and family members of past human rights abuses to the presidential palace last Thursday and promised to prioritize resolving their cases. The cases include the 1965 to 1966 massacre, the student shooting in Trisakti and Semanji, the May tragedy, and the Talang Sari and Tanjung Priok massacre. While the president did not give any detailed policies or steps regarding how he would deal with the past abuses, the victims and family members urged him to ensure that the cases are tried before the ad hoc Human Rights Court as mandated by Law No. 26 of 2000 on Human Rights Court. Although the meeting is a good step forward, civil society doubts President Jokowi's seriousness in addressing past human rights abuses, as he has done little in this matter in the 4 years since his inauguration. On the contrary, he has appointed several retired army generals allegedly involved in past human rights abuses as members of his cabinet. Retired Army General Wiranto, for instance, allegedly involved in crimes against humanity in East Timor during the 1999 referendum, and in the Trisakti and Semanji student shooting of 1998 to 1999, has been appointed as Coordinating Minister of Politics, Law and Security. Finally, the Urgent Appeals Weekly features 3 cases from the Philippines. The first case reported 3 incidents. 2 women activists were killed in separate incidents, and workers at the Urban Poor Office were harassed. One of the women actively opposed large-scale mining in Agusan del Sur, while the second formerly led a local women's group in Aora province. The third incident involved the harassment of urban poor leaders in Malabon City. The second case involved the arrest and trumped-up charges against 5 peasants in Cagayan Valley. The military claimed the 5 farmers are rebels. One of the victims is presently detained at the Bureau of Management Penology in Ilgan, while the others are in Isabela Provincial Jail. Lastly, a peasant leader was killed in Negros Occidental. The victim actively led a land rights campaign in his area. That is all for this episode of Just Asia. For more on this and other issues, please visit www.humanrights.asia or www.alrc.asia/justasia. Thank you for watching and see you next week.